where the sacred meets the secular, offering safe, grounded, practical, and responsible guidance for guides. This is the Psychedelic IQ podcast. I'm really excited to start today's episode because it is a little bit different. There has been a lot of theory that we have discussed on the podcast over the last couple of seasons. And today marks one of the first episodes where we are going to really start diving into the practical elements of facilitation. And I think this is going to be a foundation for what we and how we approach season 3. So I'm really, really excited to see how this episode resonates with all of you. My guest today has been doing psychedelic work for a long time. She's been doing it in many countries, and she has a very, very unique style and background that I think offers great contrast to how we work with psychedelics. There are so many different flavors and so many different methods to doing this work. And I think Benedicte has a wonderful background and a lens to look through to show us how she does her work. So Benedicte Mannix is a positive, enthusiastic, holistic therapist on a lifelong journey in search of truth and happiness, with a deep belief in the immense potential and unique beauty within every person. Benny has traveled the world for over 30 years, meeting people from diverse cultures and learning profound lessons from each encounter. Over time, she discovered that true happiness is rooted in freedom and believes every individual has the power to achieve their dreams. As a client-centered therapist trained in Rogerian therapy, Benny provides a humanistic, empathetic approach, offering an unconditional, positive regard for clients. From psilocybin facilitation to psychedelic integration, Benny draws from decades of expertise to support personal growth and transformation, promoting the core values of gratitude, freedom, sincerity, self-awareness, respect, empathy, peace, and love in every client interaction. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Benedicte Mannix. Benedicte Mannix, welcome to the Psychedelic IQ podcast. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you very much for welcoming me. And hi to everyone. Hi. Hello. Nice to see you.
So the question that I like to ask first is, what is your intention for our time today?
My intention for today, maybe to share about myself to others. To maybe I love to teach. I believe that what we can bring to others ourselves, and we all have something to learn from each other. So I'm here to teach what my experience in the psychedelic world and the psilocybin world. So I'm very happy to be there to share my experience, my own experience, and to share it with people. I love to share. So, and
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's my intention, sharing.
So what kind of work are you doing in this space right now?
Okay. Right now, since that's right now. I guess that I like to work more and more doing individual retreat. But maybe I should. I don't know that I'm specialized in developmental trauma and childhood trauma. So I since many years I've been acquiring tools, and psilocybin is for me a very efficient one for helping people to feel better in their life. So what I'm doing and what I love to do, I love to do a group retreat, but I think that one-on-one is I see there is more and more, specifically in Jamaica, where I live, people that coming to do retreat. So I just think that I prefer to do one-on-one, and yeah. So that's where I think that's where I'm the best, like, to be, yeah.
So when you say one-on-one retreat, like, tell me the difference between a one-on-one retreat versus a one-on-one, like, just experience. So if I'm working with somebody one-on-one, it might be just a couple of sessions, pre-work and the session.
Okay.
When you say a retreat, is that different than maybe doing working in a bubble with somebody or something like that?
Yeah, but because, I'm working also with lots of people that coming from mostly United States. And when I have client in Jamaica, it's more like a one session. And one session, what I do, the way that I practice the one session is over 3 days. I do a pre-session the first day. So can I, because I know that, your podcast is for people that doing like people that are like being there for others. So maybe I can share some of my beliefs and my protocol. So
we'll get there. We'll get there.
But because this is for me important that I will never work and have a session with someone before having a pre-session. And in this pre-session, what is very important is that, like, holding a space for someone is like providing a safe space. And is this safety and this sense of safety is not created before entering in this space. This is not right. And the person also need to have the time to think about it. So for me, it's very important that at least one night before, I believe in the night to, and when I offer my session, I say to my client that, it's you're going to pay only the pre-session. There is a price for my session, but you pay only the pre-session, because if you want to opt out, I want you to be completely free to opt out. And this is very important, that the person have the possibility. If you going to be engaging, and after you see the person that's going to, and you don't feel safe, what are you going to do? And this is like too late. You're going to be in an altered state of consciousness, and what can you do? You paid. So that's the pre-session. The pre-session is very, very important. It's the possibility for your client to opt out. And this
let's do this. Let's do this, because I think that we've dove into the deep end here.
Okay, sorry.
And I actually want to roll back just a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Because I think that there's a way that we can unpack the protocol in a more expansive way. Mm-hmm. But before we go there, tell me just a little bit about yourself and your background and how you came to this work.
Oh, okay. So, I'm going to be a bit. I'm also a bit ADHD, so I'm going to start. I believe that I've studied transgenerational therapy, and so I'm doing this work because of my ancestors also. So my story began even before me. And after I'm gonna do, I've definitely childhood trauma, and I self-medicated very young. I used drugs very young to self-medicate. I can say that I'm using psychedelics in 40 years. So at the
Wow.
beginning, obviously, that not for like that was just for me to feel better. And I'm also, I've been in the trans psychedelic scene since maybe like more than 30 years, doing festivals. Um, I've I went to therapy. I went to lots of therapists. I've probably wanted to be like doing psychology. I was 15 years old to heal myself, to heal my family, to like probably all psychologists somewhere. Um, so little by little, that it's just it is it's a journey. I went and I went to take ayahuasca one time, and I asked the ayahuasca that, I'm not doing anything in my life, why am what I am. And that was very interesting. I understood what the ayahuasca said to me 11 years later. I integrated 11 years later that I was on my journey, because I've been traveling also a lot all over the world, and acquiring here and there. So I studied to become a Rogerian therapist, when I find for the first time like a therapist that was really listening to me, understanding me, and having a different approach with me. After I realized that that people were having trouble to speak, and also there was something missing. So I study a somatic therapy, that is sophrology. Sophrology is not very well known in the English world, but it's, I will say, similar to mindfulness, but much more developed, because it was developed by a neuropsychiatrist in the 60s, same time as mindfulness. So it's a dynamic guided meditation. It's part of my protocol. My company, it's like called Sophrodelic. It's like a mix of sophrology and psychedelic. It's and part of my protocol. So I guess that so I've started also to do risk reduction, because in a trans psychedelic festival since many years, and I believe that my approach to sit for people is very inspired by those two things, by the fact that I'm a Rogerian, and it's a very different approach, and to sit for people in psychedelic festival, where people are not there to heal, they just to have fun. And so it's a very non-intrusive way to hold the space for people, very respectful way. And you're not there to do any healing or to do anything. That so I believe that my protocol is very much inspired by this.
Tell me, a little bit about Rogerian therapy. I'm unfamiliar. It's
Okay.
not a methodology that I'm familiar with.
Okay, so this is client-centered therapy. Okay, like very so you've got Freud. Freud was like psychoanalysis, and just like, and was the Triune theory that is, and was I've got a bit of bias, and look at that now. I'm going to say that the everything that's linked was the I'm not really a big fan of Freud. I'm more I like more young, but this is like humanist therapy. It's client-centered therapy. It's very different. I think that that the therapists don't have to be above anyone, and when you doing Rogerian therapy, the same way that the person is going to come with an intention, and you're going to have I have I have like a way to work with people. We're gonna have a goal, and the goal is your intention. Um, I think that and it's a systemic therapy. I've studied lots of systemic therapy. That transgenerational therapy is also a systemic therapy. We're all part of a system. You you exist in a family. You exist in a town, in a country, and in a religion, maybe, and you've got different system, and the system are influencing yourself, and everything, all the tools that I'm offering is for you to be conscious. I think consciousness is freedom, and the more you're going to be, and psilocybin is one that is like one of the most helpful for this, to help you to be conscious. And I don't know. I'm talking a lot, and so basically, the therapy that I'm offering is to help people align body, mind, and soul, and I've got different name for what is the mind, and and the mind is like the cortex, or the different network, like or it's also our persona, like it's us, also our adult self, and the soul is our inner child, and our limbic system, like our emotion, and and uh, and I believe that our truth is based inside our inner child, and that's what psilocybin can help you to connect with your true self, was your so yeah, basically that's I don't know that I was talking about everything that I've been learning. I've been learning also breath work. It's another technique, another somatic technique. I'm learning constantly many things to just like acquire more tools, to give tools to people. I definitely believe that hosting space for someone is just like sharing knowledge, being a teacher. I share what I've learned with you, so you can heal yourself.
Yeah. So tell me, if we now shift from more the therapy background into the psychedelic work, and you shared a little bit about your extensive personal history and how you've used medicine to do your own healing. Now, in the role that you sit in psychedelic healing, what would you call yourself, and why?
I don't call myself like this, but I like it. Doula, like psychedelic doula. So
Okay.
I love it because doula means slave. It's like servant, slave, and I believe that I can say that I'm a servant to psilocybin. Um, I call myself a holistic therapist. I'm a holistic therapist. Holistic meaning that that I definitely believe that that people heal themselves. And I'm just there to provide a space and tool to help them heal themselves. This is definitely so. I am not a guide. I don't guide no one because I don't know where to guide anyone. People need to guide themselves. Everybody as an inner guide, everybody as an inner healer, and they need to access to it. What I provide is that I'm holding a safe space for people when they are, and practicing not doing is, it's very important. Practicing not doing, that's the most, the less you do in a space, and the better it is, I believe.
So I'm gonna come back to that statement in just a moment, but I'm gonna go back to something that you said just a moment ago, that you are a servant of psilocybin. Tell me more about that.
That just because that's I don't want to. Okay, the thing that is in our work is the ego. The ego is like the 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 shaman complex. I don't know how you call it. That, you're going to be in a space and the person is going to have like a wonderful, great time. And you are the person in the space. And it's very important to just detach yourself from, the person is going to have like probably is going to say, this is the best day of my life. And you are the person that have given like the psilocybin to the person. So they definitely think that they attach you with this. So that's very important that you detach yourself from this experience also, and to be conscious that this is not your experience. This is not your journey. When I love to teach, but when I'm holding space, I'm more learning. But I like to learn, but because my we need to learn from our clients. Like they teach you everything about themselves. I don't know anything. I've wrote a paper about dosing people. You don't know. That's 15 years that I'm holding space for people. I don't know. I don't know nothing about how they're going to react to psilocybin. I don't believe that there's any psilocybin expert. This is, psychedelic expert. This is nonsense. You you're in front of someone. It's a specific day, and you don't know how the person is going to react. You don't know what's going to happen. If you can't predict anything, nothing. You can't be an expert of anything. You just, you're just there. I can provide a safe space because of my experience. This, yes. But I can't tell anything about what's going to happen. I can't. And people, all the people that have been asking, like, so what dose do you think you're going to want? And they say, I don't know. I've never tried. And I say, yeah, you know better than me. They know better than you. They have the capacity to answer you better than you think. And I've tried, I've tasted myself, oh, this person is going to react like this, or just for me, but you get wrong all the time.
So how do you choose? So
They
how do
choose.
you choose? How
They
does the
choose.
client choose? So the client just says, I need X, and you believe them.
No. Okay. No, of course not. Of course not. No, that's a very simple thing to do. Do you rather be overwhelmed or underwhelmed? This is a very simple question to ask. People will tell you. Some people, they say, oh, and you're going to see that people, and this is giving you like a big information. People are going to tell you that, yeah, no, give me the biggest dose. And people say, oh, no, that I prefer to be underwhelmed. That's okay. That, and you can ask them, like, is it okay if you don't feel too much? Or, that I don't want you to, they will tell you. They know themselves.
So let's just say somebody comes to you and they say, I want to be overwhelmed. And as the psilocybin doula, are you okay with them having an overwhelming experience?
Definitely yes, if that's what they want. The first reason, you know what? Because I trust myself, and this is very important. I trust myself. I trust that that I can hold the space. I've had I've done risk reduction, so believe me that this is like people overdosing on like multiple different substance. So it's just that okay that of course when you are professional, you want to know. So if someone say to you, okay, I'm doing risk reduction. So somebody say to you, you know what? And that have happened to me. I want to try like 20 grams. That's what I want to do. I want somebody to hold space for me. Are you going to say no? So that's the possible. That's what you're doing. You're holding space. So this is the person want to have like a specific experience doing this and is wanting to have like somebody that is having the experience to hold the space for them. It's not about therapy.
Yeah, so that I think that maybe that's my next question is a 20-gram experience. Do you find that tends to be a healing experience, or does it matter? Are we when somebody says, I just want to have a 20-gram experience, does the intention really make a difference? Or does this go back to sort of your Rogerian roots of saying, I'm just going to allow the client to really be self-directed, and I'm just going to hold the space, and whatever comes up, comes up?
Okay, so I never had someone telling me 20 grams. I did it for myself, but yeah, but yeah, definitely, yeah, for sure. But this is different, different. If if someone come to me and will say that I want to work with psilocybin, that I will not recommend to do 10 or 20 grams because I would. So my role also is definitely to give information. There is a difference in between giving information. I'm going to inform you of the little I know because little I know about yourself. And I don't know because with 10 grams, I don't know how you're going to react. I've had people that were like having like a very low response to 10 gram. Can you imagine? So, and I've had people with 1 gram that were completely like saying like, having hallucination. And so I'm going to tell them that, so what would I told them is that I would recommend when I do once off session, that's not the best because you don't know the person and you got only one time to know how the person reacts. And I suggest that we're going to work with 5 gram with the mushroom that I'm using, because this is very important also to understand what's 5 gram. I'm talking about 5 gram of my mushroom, the mushroom that I'm using. because different mushroom have different potency. So that's what I say to people. 5 grams is the average of being underwhelmed or overwhelmed. It's normally is going to help you have an experience and have the experience that you have been prepared to have, was the intention that you're having, because we are going to prepare before. Because
Yeah, so let's actually maybe take that and zoom out for a moment. If we were just looking at dosing as a very specific variable in the session, if we zoom out, tell me a little bit from sort of start to finish, when somebody reaches out to you and says, I want to have this experience, or they show up at a retreat and they want to have an experience. Talk to me about the process from start to finish, like the steps or the phases in how people work with you.
so first I like to introduce myself, because I like to, when I'm working with people, I'm kind of lucky that people trust me most of all the time, and I believe that it's because I'm very open. And so first thing is that I'm going to speak about myself. I can share about them, like I said, that that my experience, saying that I was using drugs, or that I was having problem with addiction or anything. That being very open, whatever what because I believe the more you open with someone, the more the person is going to be open with you. And that's very important for healing, that the person feels safe with you. If I feel safe, if I feel safe that, I can be myself, I'm allowing you to be yourself. So that the first thing of my protocol, I would like you to be feeling safe. I would like you to trust me. So I'm going to trust you. Trust that you're not going to judge me. And because I don't want to judge you, I want to understand you. I want to know who you are. And I want to. So the second thing is that I'm going to ask you, like, why do you want why do you want to, why are you coming to see me? And normally what I say is that if you're coming to see me and we are meeting now, is that you're ready, because we're going to work. I believe in work. I don't believe that psilocybin heal. I believe that it's a tool for you to heal yourself. So if you're ready to meet my path, is that because you're ready to work on yourself and you want to heal. So this is what I'm going to say to people. So I'm going to, after introducing myself, ask them their intention and let them talk, and have a session, like a first session with them, like understanding and already preparing for the session. They need to be prepared. They need to, to understand, to have already the consciousness of what they're going to work with. So we're gonna be like really specific and talking about who they are, and I talk about childhood definitely most of all the time, that understanding that but that depend what people want, for sure, but most of all the time people coming for even depression or anxiety. That's my belief, that most of everything is rooted in our childhood. If we don't have the resilience today to go over our challenges, it's because we lacking of something, and this is due to trauma. Trauma is a repetition that it's something that come back on and on in life. It's something that's becoming that's coming back from our past again and again. So we're gonna try to understand, to know. So we're gonna have a long conversation, and so I'm gonna know the person. I'm gonna know you intimately already, and I'm gonna tell them that you're gonna be in altered state of consciousness. So that they're gonna be very vulnerable. So that's important that they feel safe. And so this is going to be part of the protocol. So starting there.
So you have a introductory conversation, and then what is the preparation? Like, what does your full preparation process look like?
So that's going to be like really very different depending on what you're coming to work on. So
Say more. So unpack that a little bit. So when you say very different, like give me what's the spectrum? Will I have one preparation session? Will I have 10? Is there a time frame? Like how do you approach that?
So it's different depending on what people want. It's possible to do only one preparation session, and from there, I know that I like to put just before the session, the next day or during the session, we're going to do a guided meditation, and this guided meditation is going to be from whatever happened, So we're setting intention, but I like to, because, like I said at the beginning, you've told me your intention. But when this is another day and your intention, we've already worked, I do therapy. That's the thing, is that, I don't only offer psilocybin. I'm not only offering like a space. We're doing therapy, really deep therapy, trying to definitely. So psilocybin is a tool. We're going to work on something specific. So before, okay, you want to know all my secrets. Okay, for me, psilocybin is just, I've been taking psychedelics for many, many years. So you know that the space that psilocybin is just like it's when you're going to take it, it's just like a dream. And a dream is like often going to be the repetition of what have happened during your day. So if you prepare someone before the person is going to enter the dream, you're going to like prepare the person specifically to the intention. So the day that the person is going to doze, we're going to go back starting again. Okay, so speaking about what's going to happen during the day that we've already been speaking about, but we're going to go back. So, what's your intention? Is it still the same intention? Because maybe you have gained some clarity about yourself. You know yourself a bit more after the first session, and maybe you have a different intention. So from there, we can do like a guided meditation that's going to prepare you. So this is, I will say, my hands-on. It's before. When the person take the psilocybin, I try to back off because I believe that people. So I'm there. I'm still there in the space if they want to use me, and that's we're going back to the servant. If they want to use me.
So hold on. We do an intro session. Then they sleep on it for a night, at least one night, maybe more intro session, or maybe more preparation sessions. Then we hit the day of the journey, and some guided meditation and revisiting the intention. True?
Yeah.
So now we've landed on an intention. The client and you have kind of come up with an appropriate dose. The client's somehow sort of intuitively choosing their dose with your assistance.
Okay, that's 5 grams. Normally,
So
that's 5 grams normally, but yeah.
So is the client choosing the 5 grams, or are you choosing the 5 grams?
No, they choose, they decide. But that's 5 grams. That 5 grams as a average. It's 5 grams that I know that people, but some people rather say that I rather be underwhelmed, and that's their choice.
So I think what I hear you saying is you sort of have a midpoint that you're starting with, maybe an expectation of like my mushrooms and the experience, and an average, tolerable, but mystical and powerful experience is around 5 grams. So we sort of start there, and then clients are saying like, I want to be overwhelmed. I want to go above that. So maybe they're consciously choosing to go higher, or they're saying, you know what, I don't want that big, powerful experience. And then so you're kind of starting with something and helping guide them a little bit, and then they kind of choose their own path from that point. Is that what I'm hearing?
True. Yeah.
Great. So now we've chosen a dose, and take me into the actual like starting of the ceremony, the process. Maybe even if you want to share a little bit of like, is there? Yeah, please.
Sorry, I don't call it ceremony.
Yeah, please.
Because my protocol is agnostic. So what does that mean? Is that you are coming with your belief. This is your space. So in your space, there is some on my side. I don't dose. I don't take. This is not my journey. I need to be like completely. I don't need psilocybin to connect with people. I know the space very well. That's so, and this is part of my protocol. I've seen so many people that were like people holding space more high than the people that they were holding space with. No, I want to say it because I've seen it like so many times. So this is part of my protocol. I don't dose. There is no any. I have, when I do training. When I do training, I train people. I've trained lots of people in Jamaica to hold space. I train them, telling them that I'm going to train you my way, and my way is to help you find your way. The best thing that you can offer to someone else is yourself. Because if I going to sit with you, I want, it's you, it's a specific you. And I'm going to trust you and what you have, and I'm resonating with you and what you can bring me. And maybe you is a shaman, and maybe you is going to take like a super high dose of psilocybin, and that's what I need. And you're going to need to guide me, and you're going to need to play music, and you're going to need to do all this for me. And it's what I want, and it's what I need. And when I train people, I tell them, you need to be you. I am me. And that's my protocol is me. I don't recommend music. That's me. Because I can tell you why. Because, music is going to just have an impact has like a high impact on the auditory cortex. And we are doing, when you're coming to see me, we're going to work doing therapy. I want you to be focusing on yourself, not on music, not on, I want you to really connect with yourself, not with the music of someone else, not like, you are prepared for the work that you come to do specifically.
So I use the word ceremony. What do you call it?
Session.
Okay. So we show up the day of the session. We have dosing and meditation. You've mentioned your protocol a number of times, and I'm really trying to understand and help the listeners understand what that protocol is. So they show up for the session. We have a dose, no music, and at that point,
Earplugs,
eye shades, silence, earplugs, and they ingest the mushrooms, and you really sort of take. I think what I'm hearing is almost a posture of leaning back, holding space, keeping people safe, but really, and I'm connecting some dots now with the way that you explained Rogerian therapy, and you're very client focused and client centered, but really allowing the client to be their 100% their own guide.
And trusting themselves, because I'm trusting them. They know where to go. They know what to do. And if they want, and I tell them, if you want to use me, I'm here. If you want to talk to me, if you want to listen to music, because this is my protocol. I tell you, I suggest it, but if you want to listen to music, I'm not there. This is your space. You're free in your space. The thing, don't harm yourself, don't harm others, don't leave, don't use your phone, certain things. Do whatever in your space. This is your space. Be yourself. Be you. Be free. Trust yourself.
So with with the exception of a few agreements, not using your phone, not harming yourself or others, probably not interacting with others at least in a group session. Really, you are there to hold space, keep people safe, and allow the client to be and do whatever it is they need to be or do.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's oh, please go ahead.
But I think that's normal, because I trust them. Okay, my protocol is all about it's embodying mother archetype. Yeah, there is, let's just say, so embodying mother archetype. So and I'm providing like a womb. I know that not all the womb have been safe, not mother have been have been safe, but this is like like a safe mother, and a lot of people are struggling with attachment. So the same way that we working on basically reparenting yourself. You need to be your adult. You need to be your. You're gonna connect with your child. You're gonna connect with yourself. So it's all about like showing the way. Like, I trust you, and you can like attachment, safe attachment. You can go. You're free to go, but you can go back to the mother archetype. The mother archetype is there, like providing this safe womb, and you go, and she's there, like being there to keep you safe, but she's letting you be. And and conditional love, this is also Rogerian, and conditional love also, and not judgmental and unconditional love. So this is part of the protocol. And it
So how long does
works.
it? Yeah, and
It worked very well, because I think that that's what people, basically I'm kind of offering what people haven't, the lack of people, that's what I can offer. uh, Love and
out of as I'm just thinking of the other, let's say, just for a generic word, the other facilitators that I have spoken with, and if we talk about a spectrum, on one side of the spectrum being directive, on the other side of the spectrum being non-directive, I would say that most folks fall somewhere in the middle. And music, I've often music is a very large part of the way that I move people through ceremony. It's the way that I was taught. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but on the spectrum, what I hear is that you are maybe as far to the non-directive side as you can almost get, which that's the reason why we're having these conversations. I want to explore the spectrum. I also hear, which is also beautiful, that there is no, I love that you corrected me on the use of the word ceremony. Like there is a very agnostic, 100% client focused experience that you are creating from the very beginning until the very end, and you are leaned back in your directive posture, or non-directive posture in this case, and just allowing the client, and I'll say the substance rather than a medicine, the substance to do the work in the whatever way it needs to come out.
and trust and let go. Trust and let go.
Yeah.
The process, trust and let go.
So trust, keep people safe, trust and let go are really like some core values, you would say, as you're walking
That's
people through
why
this process.
I don't read those. Trust and let go. I've seen people starting to be having effect after 4 hours. So if you read those, that that's for me. That's I don't read those.
I think that that's an interesting component to unpack. To rephrase, you said, I've seen people having an effect after 4 hours. So you dose, 4 hours goes by with
And
really no significant experience,
nothing
and then
happening, and because they told you, oh, nothing is happening, and and that after 4 hours, like suddenly they completely in.
why do you think that happens? Just so philosophically, why do you think that happens?
Because they fight. They fight. They're strong. They're strong. They just saying that it's hard to let go. So so I will say that they could have needed more from the beginning, but same thing. Trust the process. What was the dose they've taken was the right dose for the experience. Trust the process. Let go. Trust the process. Trust always. Because, remember something. You're offering a safe space. If you don't trust, you're not safe anymore. If you starting to, if you are with a client, and the client come to you and saying that, hey, I don't feel anything, and you start doubting yourself as the therapist, that you're doubting yourself that, oh, maybe the person is going to feel it, because there is definitely, we I know, that they have taken a substance, so something is there, so they feel it less or more, but it's there. And you need to, and maybe this is exactly what they need to experience the thing that, that, it's never working for me. You've cheated me, huh? I was not able to trust you, So, I paid all this money for nothing. And this is part of the protocol. And you need to wait until at the end. And after the person is going to say that, and you need to trust. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your integrity. People can't. Like, can you imagine if the client in the space is going to make you doubt yourself? You're not safe anymore, and you're not keeping them safe. This is thing through experience, because of course I've had lots of people saying this. I think I want to tell like the most beautiful experience I've had. So I think it's the most beautiful experience because I've never had somebody like, so it's a Indian person, and I think it's important to say that he's Indian because Indian believe in karma, and he is a doctor in ICU, and he's calling me and he's saying that, you need to call an ambulance. I'm having a heart attack. So you're there, and he say, okay, everything is okay. And he say, no, you don't understand. I'm a doctor in ICU. I'm having a heart attack. Call an ambulance. So, and so I was working with a nurse. I remember that because I was in a retreat, and the nurse come. I think to take blood pressure is not working. So, so, but I still, to reassure the person, I'm still like asking the nurse like to take the blood pressure. Um, and, um, and so we say that, I tell him that everything is okay, you're okay. He say, no, I'm telling you, I know myself, I know. And he said, I'm gonna die, but I forgive you. And I say that, so that is the most beautiful thing that, I'm like the person, basically, I'm letting him die and he's forgiving me. So that's what I said to him. I said, oh, wow, I've never had someone saying to me something so genuine. So if you are not sure of yourself, so, we had the conversation after when I told them, thank you for being so beautiful with me and to like forgiving me before you die. That, but, that's the kind of thing that, that holding space and being safe, you need to feel safe. That's what you need to offer. That's one of the most important things. Safety, feeling safe inside. If I had freaked out, and you need to, I was conscious. I've got experience. You know what a heart attack is. It is like on an altered state of consciousness. I am not. I got my sense. I can, I I was like keeping him safe. And there was this experience. He was needing to go through this fear, of death. That was his fear of death. That now he's like, he told about this, that, his fear of death. That's something that he'd experienced. He had to let go. He had to even forgive me for letting him die. But
so let's first thank you for the beautiful story, because I think that it points to a couple of things. Again, it points to this very non-directive way of holding the substance. I think it points to there's a couple of passive things in there. I guess maybe more active things. You had a nurse on staff. You had somebody who was medically trained to make diagnosis and to help. And you're really trusting that the substance has the best intentions for this individual, and that you're the one keeping them safe, even though they don't feel safe in that moment. There is safety being held, which I think is an important couple of components. So let's begin wrapping up the protocol. Oh, go ahead, please.
About nurses, I say a joke. I say that for me, because same that that's 40 years that I'm taking psychedelics, so I don't want to say that psychedelic is like 100%. Yeah. Oh yes, I'm gonna say psychedelics are 100% safe. That that of course there is certain thing that there is certain thing that you need to know that, and I don't even know. So apparently lithium, there is certain thing that that you need definitely to have certain settings. There is certain things, but I definitely believe that it's safe. It's a safe substance. So if beforehand that, do you really need like a nurse or not? As that, you can have like a yoga retreat and you need a nurse. Of course you will need a nurse if you do a yoga retreat. You can hurt yourself. I hope you hear me. Psilocybin is not dangerous. Of course, you need to be like, there's a little bit of screening that needs to be done. There is for sure some safety that need to be that, but do you need medical assistance for psilocybin? I don't think so. I don't think that you need a nurse, but definitely anything can happen anytime in the life of everybody. That's
Sure.
But it's a very safe substance. So yeah.
So take me now through the last maybe step or two of the process. So we finished the day of the experience. People are coming out of the medicine. What is the last couple of steps in your protocol?
So of course that's the beginning. That's the integration, because like I said, that this is a tool for your healing. You need to be in charge of your healing. So in my protocol, what I do is that I'm going to, during the integration, so you remember I said that it's like a dream. So what we're going to do is that we're going to try to put the dream into reality. So same thing about, there's no such a thing about interpretation. Very important. I'm not there to interpret your dream. I'm there to help you unfold your experience, to help you put your experience. So now what you're going to do with what you have gained for the experience. So this is, this was the life is going to start changing with you. You're going to start. So you have like a time frame of 2-3 weeks when your brain is more neuroplastic. We're gonna have more energy when you have the bliss of the mushroom, the experience. So this is when you're going to start to do the work. The work. So what is my protocol all about? That tree commitment. you're going to have to do 3 things and to do it. And so that's why that I ask people to after 3 weeks, like if they want before, but at least 3 weeks after, to have like a session, another session. Where are you at? How are you doing? What you doing? How you integrating your work? And integrating your work is that it's all about you, like what you going to do with your experience. How you putting your experience in the real in your real life and the real world.
So I have 2 questions follow up there.
Mhm.
So you said that you don't help people interpret their dream in this case.
Yes.
So if there are big questions, if there are big like unknowns that happened in the experience that people come out of with lots of questions, and they're having trouble interpreting, what happens then?
Can I? Yeah, I'm going to talk about something that have happened, and that's a hard one. When people have memory of being abused and they don't know, it's they something happened. This is something that happened. So what you're going to tell them, that now they don't know that I feel that something happened or not, or just like this is very important that you help them to be recentered, not dismissing anything, and just telling them that that not it's important to not in phases, and to say that sometimes psychedelic just make you feel and perceive things, and maybe make things can be bigger than they are or not, or just like it's very delicate to just like, because you don't know, very important to because you don't know that so the same thing that I'm not very mystical, but some people have beautiful, wonderful mystical experience. So you're not there to it's the same thing that I'm not there to tell them that, oh, like I'm there to trust to trust what they are saying, and not to put my beliefs, to put my stories into their stories. This is very important. That so if they ask questions, so like so I was feeling that that I was in a past life, and that that who am I to answer them sincerely? Like so I am not a guru. I'm not like I'm not nothing. Who am I? I'm just like I don't know more than them. That like going on questioning. How do you feel about this? Is this relevant? Is this relevant in your life? How that can help you? Does that help you? Is it going to help you or not? And if that help you, that let's dig into it. If you think that doesn't, that's not me to to give clarity on things that who I am to know. you know let's let's keep. I don't know. I have my own beliefs. I am not going to inflict upon other people my beliefs. That's not. I don't have the right to do this. And that's the thing. There is a thing in between. If you ask me, you can ask me. I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to tell you, like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe uh, maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe tomorrow I'm going to have a psychedelic experience, and I'm going to change completely my beliefs. So who am I to tell you So I'm going to be very careful about like giving sense and even answering question. I will ask more question. I think I will ask more question. Yeah, that's.
So the second follow up to that was that you said you asked people to agree to 3 things.
Yeah,
What are those 3
they gonna
things?
come up with it. Huh? That's not. I can help them.
I see. So the
I don't change.
integration,
I'm still myself.
the integration is you're asking the integration process for you is you are asking an individual to commit to 3 things, 3 changes that they're going to make in their life,
Yeah.
or 3 things that they're going to go out and do,
Like,
something like that.
suddenly that, I felt so much confidence. How can you keep this confidence? How do you think you can keep this confidence? How are you going? Because that were there. Okay, you can tap into it. You've experienced this for the first time because of psychedelic. But now you want to keep it, because if you don't keep it, it's going to fade away. And you're going to see, oh, that was a dream. That was not true. You want to keep this experience because this experience is true. You've tapped into yourself. It's true. It's inside you. You need to nurture it. How can you nurture it? So if you don't have a way to nurture it, if you don't find, I'll give you tools. So maybe, you're going to journal, you're going to do things. So it's going to be different thing that, that different thing that there is not like one thing. Every person is like very unique and very different. Every journey is unique and different. So the integration is unique and different for every people. But what is like, it's difficult to change, but sticking to 3 men thing, it's doable, feasible for people. So maybe that's going to do like a ritual every morning when you wake up, or now you're going to that. I can give you 100 million different things that. But yeah, and my role after is kind of to, a therapist is a positive mirror where you coming to see yourself. Where are you at into your 3 commitment? So come back to tell me, where are you at? Can I help you? Can I give you more tools to help you heal yourself? You are healing yourself. You are the healer.
Yeah. Anything left in the protocol after this sort of integration component? Anything left that you want to share?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Okay.
No.
Well, we're going to drop into the speed round. So I ask a few questions at the end of every session. They're pretty easy questions.
Cool.
The first one is, why do you do this work?
Because I think that that's maybe a random answer. Like, I love helping people. Because it's I love when I see. Okay, I'm gonna give you an answer. One of my last clients, she was 17 years old. I took her. She was on 450 milligram of Wellbutrin. Can you imagine that? Plus all the other medication that is given to bear the Wellbutrin. 17 years old, and I had a message from her mother 2 weeks ago. So I took her. She was on a medication. Because I take people on medication also, that different people, different ways. So I don't ask people to throw away their crutches to get helped. And so she's off a med. She's off all her meds. So, And just for one thing that she said to me, that I know that she saw something that she can never forget, so like, that's giving me goosebumps, that I'm so blessed. So why am I doing this? I'm so blessed to be allowed to do this, and I'm allowed because that's I'm lucky. I'm in Jamaica where it's legal to work. So I'm blessed to. I will say that I'm so blessed to be able to do this, to help others, like I've been helping myself.
What is the most important thing this work has taught you?
That I know nothing. That I know.
Jordan, easy. What is the best advice you would give to someone who is starting on their path, like someone who is just starting on their desire, or maybe they've come out of a training program, or they want to go into a training program? What's the best advice you would say to them?
I I've worked and read this book. I always what I think the ethics to work on themselves, and to trust themselves, and to always remember that the best thing that they can give to others is them, as their experience, as their own experience. So
Beautiful.
just never be ashamed to share your own experience. If you want to go help others, you got something to offer to someone. So do it. Offer the things to someone else. That trust yourself, and work on yourself. Like keep on working on yourself all the time, because it's a never-ending story. You can always grow more and more and more, and just like listen to it's a very it's very you're very always very blessed to do this work, because you're learning so much from other people all the time.
Yeah.
That's
So if people wanted to reach out and get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Okay, so I would like to offer a session for the people that are listening to your podcast. If they want
Sure.
a free session, they can reach out on my email, and so they can also, my website is, maybe you can write it down, Sofrodelic.
Yeah, we'll include it in the show notes. So I've got sophrodelic.com.
Yeah.
And I have your email address, so we can put both of those on the show notes. So you said offering a free session. What would that free session look like?
I don't know if they want to have more information, if they want to have like a pre-session with me. Also, if they want to, I don't know. I'm happy to share more or answer question. If so that's 15 years that I'm holding space. So maybe I can, I don't know, maybe some advice if people want, or just helping them, or I don't know. And anyway, they just I like to offer something to the people that I've given some of their time to listen to this podcast.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for that. We really appreciate it. We'll put all of those links in the show notes. Well, Ben, thank you so much for your time today, and I really appreciate your willingness to go into the details. There's a lot of times when we don't really get a chance to share really how we work with people, and that's the reason why we're having these conversations, is to expose all the different ways. I think that we're, especially in maybe the global north, there's this idea that we go to a training and we do it this way or we do it that way. And I think it's really important to broaden our perspectives on how these substances can be held and powerfully delivered. So I appreciate you doing that today.
And one more time, there is not one way. There is our own way, and there is so many different people. People are going to need medical settings, some other shamanic settings. So this is very important. What's most important is the intention. Like I know that the how do you say the ethics of the person that is offering this space. This is the most important. Not this is what people need to be like aware of the ethics of the person.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Psychedelic IQ podcast. If you resonated with this episode and are ready to go deeper into your personal work and practice, visit psychedeliciq.com for more in-depth articles, books, training opportunities, and professionally organized psychedelic experiences hosted in both North and South America. And as always, you're perfect and you're right on time, and the path is wiser than the traveler.